At dinner, the whole family was planning for us to go on an exclusive trip. We finalized the list and I paid for it. Then my mother messaged me hours before the trip saying, "Don't come to the trip, your sister's boyfriend and her kids need your spot." My father added, "Let the real family enjoy, don't try to ruin it." I texted back, "Then let her handle the extras too." That's when they rushed to my house without warning, broke into my house and knocked me out, left with my card. 30 minutes later, the booking confirmed my refund and their names vanished from every booking. By the time their flight landed, the vacation didn't exist. I need to start from the beginning because this whole nightmare makes more sense when you understand the dynamics that led up to it. My name is Jessica Chen, and I'm 32 years old. I work as a financial analyst for a consulting firm in Seattle, pulling in a comfortable six-figure salary after years of grinding through late nights and weekend projects. My sister Amber is 28, works part-time at the boutique when she feels like it, and has 2 kids from a previous relationship with her ex-husband Brad Martinez. She started dating this guy named Trevor about 8 months ago, and suddenly my parents acted like he was the second coming. Growing up, I was always the responsible one. Amber got pregnant at 19, dropped out of community college and bounced between our parents' house and various boyfriends' apartments. Meanwhile, I graduated with honors, got my master's degree, and built a career. But somehow, in my family's eyes, Amber was the one who needed support, understanding, and endless chances. I was just expected to have my life together. The vacation idea came up during a family dinner at my parents' house 3 months before the trip. My mom, Linda, was complaining about how stressed everyone was and how we never spent quality time together anymore. My dad, Robert, agreed and suggested we should all go somewhere nice. "What about a resort vacation?" I offered. "Somewhere tropical where we can actually relax." Amber's eyes lit up. "Oh my God, yes. Trevor and I have been dying to get away." I should have caught the red flag right there. Trevor had only been around for a few months, but Amber was already including him in family plans. Still, I wanted to be the bigger person. I wanted to prove I wasn't the uptight, jealous sister they sometimes made me out to be. I was thinking maybe Costa Rica, I continued. "There's this amazing resort I've been researching. All-inclusive, private beaches, spa services, the whole thing." My mom clasped her hands together. "Jessica, that sounds wonderful. How much would something like that cost?" I had already done the math. For all of us, probably around $15,000 for the week. Flights, accommodations, meals, activities. My dad whistled low. "That's steep." "I can cover it," I said. The words came out before I really thought about them. "Consider it my treat. You guys have done so much for me over the years." That was partially true. My parents had helped me with college, though I'd paid them back every cent within 5 years of graduating. But mostly, I just wanted to do something nice. I wanted 1 week where we could all be together without the usual tension and comparisons. Amber squealed and jumped up to hug me. "Jess, you're the best. The kids are going to love this." "Well, actually," I said carefully, "I was thinking this might be more of an adult's trip. You know, so we can all really relax." The temperature in the room dropped about 20 degrees. "Jessica," my mother said in that tone I knew too well, "Amber can't just leave Chloe and Mason behind. They're 6 and 4. They need their mother." "Right, but couldn't her ex watch them for a week? Or they could stay with—" "No," Amber cut me off. "Brad's not reliable. And I'm not leaving my babies for a whole week. That's non-negotiable." I backed down because I always back down. "Okay, fine. The kids can come." We spent the rest of that evening planning. I pulled up the resort website on my laptop, and we all crowded around the dining table, picking out room configurations and excursions. I made a list: me, my parents, Amber, Chloe, and Mason. 5 people total, with the kids counting as half price in the booking. The resort required a substantial deposit, which I put down that night using my credit card. My parents promised they'd chip in for activities and meals once we were there, though I knew from experience that promise wouldn't amount to much. Amber said she'd help with the kids' expenses, which was laughable considering she barely covered her own bills. But I didn't care about the money. I made good money, and I'd rather spend it on experiences with my family than let it sit in my investment accounts. What I cared about was having one decent vacation where maybe, just maybe, my parents would see me as more than just the family ATM. Over the next few months, I handled all the logistics. I booked the flights through my airline miles program, coordinated the rental car, arranged the resort accommodations in a 3-bedroom villa, and even scheduled activities like snorkeling trips and a canopy zipline tour. I created a shared Google Doc with our itinerary and sent everyone the details. Amber was enthusiastic at first, texting me photos of swimsuits she wanted to buy and asking about the resort's kids club. My parents seemed genuinely excited, with my dad talking about finally trying deep-sea fishing and my mom researching the spa treatments. Then, about 2 weeks before the trip, Amber started dating Trevor more seriously. She changed her Facebook status to in a relationship and posted constant photos of them together. He was okay-looking, worked in car sales, and had that overly confident personality that some people mistake for charm. The first time I met Trevor was at a birthday dinner for my dad. Amber brought him along without asking anyone first, which was typical. He spent most of the evening talking about his sales numbers and making jokes that were slightly too crude for a family gathering. My dad seemed to think he was hilarious. My mom kept saying how nice it was that Amber had found a good man. I bit my tongue throughout the entire meal. After dinner, Amber pulled me aside. "What do you think of Trevor?" "He seems fine," I said neutrally. "Just fine?" She looked offended. "Jess, he's amazing. He treats me so well, and the kids love him." "That's great, Amber. I'm happy for you." She studied my face. "You don't sound happy." "I am," I insisted. "I'm just tired from work." That seemed to satisfy her, and she went back to Trevor's side, linking her arm through his. I should have known something was brewing. My family had a pattern of making decisions without consulting me and then expecting me to go along with whatever they decided. But I was genuinely shocked when I got my mother's text message at 11 o'clock at night, exactly 7.5 hours before our scheduled flight. The message read, "Jessica, honey, we need to talk about the vacation. Amber really wants Trevor to come, and with his kids too, there's just not enough space. We think it would be better if you stayed home this time. Don't come to the trip. Your sister's boyfriend and her kids need your spot. We'll make it up to you another time. Love you." I stared at my phone screen in disbelief. I read the message 3 times, certain I must be misunderstanding something. I called my mother immediately. She didn't answer. I called again. No answer. My hands were shaking as I typed out a response. "Mom, I organized this entire trip. I paid for everything. You're telling me I'm uninvited from a vacation I planned and funded?" 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. Then appeared again. Finally, she responded, "It's complicated, sweetie. Amber and Trevor are really building something special, and she wants him to be part of family memories. You understand, right? You can take a trip anytime with your job and money." Before I could respond, my phone buzzed with a text from my father, "Your mother's right. Let the real family enjoy, don't try to ruin it. Trevor's basically family now, and Amber needs our support. You're being selfish as usual. Let the real family enjoy." Those words hit me like a physical blow. I'd spent 32 years being part of this family, being the responsible daughter, the one who showed up for every birthday and holiday, the one who loaned money that never got paid back, the one who listened to hours of complaints and drama. And I wasn't real family? My vision blurred with angry tears. I typed back a response to my father, then let her handle the extras too. I meant it. If I wasn't real family, then they could figure out their own vacation expenses. They could pay for their meals, their excursions, their transportation. They could handle the resort fees and activity costs I'd already prepaid as part of the package. My father's response came fast, "Don't be a brat about this. The deposit's already paid anyway." He had no idea how vacation bookings actually worked. Yes, I'd paid a deposit, but the remaining balance of about $9,000 was due upon check-in. Plus, there were all the add-ons I'd purchased, the premium meal plan, the couple's spa package for my parents, the kids' activities program, the private snorkeling charter, the zipline tour. I charged everything to my credit card with the understanding that I'd be there to enjoy it too. I was sitting on my couch, trying to process everything, when I heard a car pull into my driveway. I lived in a small 2-bedroom house in a quiet neighborhood, and it was nearly midnight. I wasn't expecting anyone. Through my window, I saw my father's SUV. All 4 doors opened, and my parents, Amber and Trevor, climbed out. They were moving fast, purposefully, toward my front door. My father tried the doorknob first. I always kept my door locked, a habit from living alone. Then he started pounding on it. "Jessica, open up. We need to talk about this like adults." "I don't want to talk right now," I shouted back. "You've made your position clear." "Stop being dramatic," Amber's voice joined in. "Just give us your card so we can finalize everything. You're not going anyway." The audacity of it took my breath away. They wanted my credit card? Absolutely not, I yelled. Get off my property. Jessica Marie, you open this door right now, my mother commanded in her mom voice that used to make me obey instantly when I was 7. I was 32. I didn't answer. What happened next occurred in a blur. I heard the sound of breaking glass from my kitchen. They'd smashed the window next to my back door. I grabbed my phone to call the police, but before I could dial, my back door flew open. Trevor came through first, followed by my father. I backed away, my phone held up. I'm calling the cops, I warned. Don't be ridiculous, my father said. We're family. We're just here to get what we need. Trevor moved toward me fast. I turned to run toward my bedroom, but he grabbed my arm. I tried to pull away, and in the struggle, my phone clattered to the floor. Just calm down, Trevor said, his grip tight on my wrist. Let go of me. I screamed. My mother and Amber came through the back door now. My mother looked distressed but didn't tell Trevor to release me. Amber was heading toward my purse on the kitchen counter. My wallet's in there, I said quickly. My cards. I know, Amber said, rifling through it. I struggled harder against Trevor's grip. This is insane. You're committing a crime. We're borrowing what we need, my father said. He was looking around my living room, and his eyes landed on my laptop on the coffee table. Is that logged into your accounts? Don't touch that. Trevor's grip shifted, and suddenly I felt his other hand on my shoulder. He pushed me, hard, and I stumbled backward. My head hit the corner of my bookshelf on the way down, and pain exploded through my skull. The last thing I heard was my mother saying, "Oh God, Robert, she's bleeding." Then everything went dark. I woke up to silence. My head throbbed with a pain so intense I thought I might vomit. I was lying on my living room floor, and it took several seconds for me to remember what had happened. I touched the back of my head and felt dried blood in my hair. When I managed to sit up, the room spun. My phone was still on the floor where it had fallen. I grabbed it and checked the time. 12:47 a.m. I'd been unconscious for maybe 30 or 40 minutes based on when they'd arrived. My purse was open on the counter, contents spilled everywhere. My wallet was gone. I stumbled to my bedroom and checked my dresser where I kept a backup credit card in case of emergencies. Also gone. They'd taken my cards and left me bleeding on my floor. I should have called the police right then. But my head was swimming, and I was having trouble forming coherent thoughts. Instead, I opened my phone and pulled up my banking app. My primary credit card showed a new charge, $8,947.32 to Costa Paraiso Resort. Posted just 20 minutes ago. That was the final balance for the vacation package. With shaking hands, I called my bank's 24-hour customer service line. This is Jessica Chen, I said when someone answered. I need to report fraudulent charges on my account. The representative, who introduced herself as Monica, pulled up my information. What charges are you reporting, Ms. Chen? There's a charge to Costa Paraiso Resort for nearly $9,000. It wasn't authorized by me. I see the charge here. Posted 18 minutes ago. Can you confirm you didn't make this purchase? I absolutely did not. My credit card was stolen from my home. I'm so sorry to hear that, Ms. Chen. I'm going to cancel this card immediately and dispute the charge. Have you filed a police report? Not yet. It just happened. I understand. I'm flagging this as fraud. You should see the charge reversed within 3 to 5 business days. I'm also noting on your account that the card was stolen. Would you like me to send you a new card? Yes, please. Rush delivery. Monica took care of everything efficiently. Before she hung up, she said, I'm also going to put an alert on your other accounts, just to be safe. Is there anything else I can help with tonight? Actually, yes. I have a booking with that resort. I made it 3 months ago as the primary account holder. The reservation is under my name. Can you tell me what happens to that booking now that I've disputed the final payment? Let me check our system. Hold on one moment. There was typing in the background. Okay, I see the original booking here in our travel services records. When you dispute the final payment and we reverse the charge, the resort will be notified that the payment was fraudulent. Most resorts have a policy that if the final balance isn't settled by check-in time, the entire reservation is automatically canceled. Since your flight is tomorrow and you're disputing the payment, they'll likely cancel the whole thing once they receive our fraud notification. So everyone on the reservation will be canceled? That's correct. The entire booking is under your name and card number. If the payment is reversed for fraud, The resort won't honor the reservation for anyone in your party. A cold clarity washed over me despite my pounding headache. How long does it take for the resort to receive that notification? It's automatic in our system. They probably already have it, actually. Our fraud alerts go out immediately to merchants. Thank you, Monica. You've been incredibly helpful. After I hung up, I sat on my bedroom floor and checked the time again. 1:15 a.m. Their flight was at 6:30 a.m. They'd need to leave for the airport by 4:30 at the latest. I opened my email and found the reservation confirmation from Costa Paraiso Resort. I clicked on the Manage Booking link and logged into the portal using the confirmation number and my email address. The screen showed all 5 original names: Linda Chen, Robert Chen, Amber Chen, Chloe Martinez, Mason Martinez. As the primary booker, I had full control over the reservation. I clicked Modify Reservation and started removing names. First Amber, then the kids, then my parents. The system asked me to confirm each deletion. I clicked yes every single time. Then I canceled all the add-on activities and services I'd booked: spa treatments, snorkeling charter, zipline tour, kids club program, premium meal plan. Everything. When I was done, the reservation showed just one name, Jessica Chen. One villa, no add-ons, with a note that the final payment had been disputed as fraud. I hit refresh on the page. An error message popped up: this reservation has been flagged for payment issues and is under review by our billing department. I checked my email again. A new message had arrived from Costa Paraiso Resort, timestamped 1:18 a.m. Dear Ms. Chen, we have received notification from your financial institution that the final payment for reservation #CR 438,292 has been disputed as fraudulent. As per our booking policy, we require confirmed payment at least 24 hours prior to check-in for all reservations. Since your check-in date is November 3rd and payment has been reversed, this reservation has been automatically cancelled. All guest names have been removed from our system. We apologize for any inconvenience. If this was an error, please contact our billing department Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I read the email 3 times. Then I started laughing, even though it made my head hurt worse. They were going to show up at the airport, fly 7 hours to Costa Rica, take the shuttle to the resort, and discover that none of them had a reservation. No rooms, no meals, no activities. Nothing. My phone buzzed. A text from Amber: got everything sorted. Thanks for making this possible even if you're being weird about it. Have fun staying home. The casual cruelty of it made my stomach turn. I didn't respond. Another text came through, this time from Trevor's number: no hard feelings, Jess. Family stuff is complicated. Maybe next time. They'd added him to the family text chain. Perfect. I finally forced myself to stand up and assess the damage to my house. The kitchen window was completely shattered, glass all over the floor. The back door hung crooked on its hinges where they'd forced it open. There was blood on my bookshelf and floor from where I'd hit my head. I took photos of everything with my phone, documenting the damage. Then I called the non-emergency police line. An officer arrived 40 minutes later. His name was Officer Martinez, and he was patient while I explained what happened, though I could tell he found the family dynamics confusing. So your family broke into your house and assaulted you to steal your credit card for a vacation you'd planned? He repeated, writing in his notepad. Yes. And you want to press charges? I hesitated. This was my family. Despite everything, the idea of having them arrested made me feel sick. Officer Martinez must have seen my expression. Ms. Chen, this is burglary and assault. These are serious crimes. The fact that they're related to you doesn't make it legal. I know. I just need to think about it. Well, I'm filing the report regardless. You can decide later if you want to pursue charges. Do you need medical attention? That's a nasty bump on your head. I'll be okay. You should probably go to the ER and get checked out. Head injuries are no joke. He was right. After he left, I drove myself to the nearest emergency room. The doctor confirmed I had a mild concussion and gave me instructions for monitoring symptoms. They cleaned up the wound and told me I was lucky it hadn't been worse. I got home at 4 a.m., exhausted and in pain. I took the prescription pain medication the ER had given me and collapsed on my bed. My phone alarm went off at 6 a.m. I'd set it weeks ago as a reminder for our flight. I turned it off and checked the family text chain. My dad had sent a message at 5 a.m. at the airport. This is going to be an amazing week. My mom, Can't wait to relax on the beach. Thanks again, Jessica, for making this happen even though you decided not to come. Decided not to come. As if I'd had a choice. Amber sent a selfie of her, Trevor, and the kids at the airport gate. They all looked excited. Chloe was holding a stuffed turtle, and Mason had a toy plane. I felt a brief pang of guilt. The kids didn't deserve to have their vacation ruined. They had no idea what their mother and grandparents had done, but I pushed the guilt away. Amber had made the choice to bring Trevor into this situation. She participated in breaking into my house and taking my credit card. She'd known I was injured and left anyway. I tried to go back to sleep but couldn't. My head hurt too much, and I kept thinking about what was going to happen when they landed. The flight time was 7 hours. They'd land around 1:30 p.m. Costa Rica time, which was 11:30 a.m. my time, accounting for the 2-hour time difference. Then they'd need to get through customs, collect luggage, find their shuttle. They probably wouldn't arrive at the resort until 5 or 6 p.m. Costa Rica time at the earliest. I spent the day alternating between sleeping and checking my phone. No new messages from my family, which made sense since they were in the air. I also called a locksmith and arranged for my locks to be changed. Then I contacted a window repair company to fix my kitchen. Both said they could come out Monday morning. At 4 p.m. my time, my phone exploded with notifications. First was a call from my mother. I didn't answer. Then a text from my dad, "Jessica, call me now." From Amber, "What the hell did you do?" From my mom, "How could you be so vindictive? The kids are crying." Trevor even chimed in, "This is beyond messed up." I put my phone on silent and made myself dinner. My head still ached, but the pain medication was helping. I ate slowly, methodically, while my phone continued to light up with incoming messages. After I finished eating, I finally looked at what they'd sent. My mother had written a long text. "We got to the resort and they said they have no reservation for any of us. They said you canceled everything and reported the payment as fraud. Jessica, we are stranded in Costa Rica with no place to stay. Your father tried using his card to book something but everything is sold out because it's peak season. How are we supposed to get through this week? Please call the resort and fix this immediately." I almost laughed. She still thought I was going to solve their problems. My father's messages were angrier. "This is financial abuse. We could sue you for this. You committed fraud by canceling a family vacation. I knew you were jealous of Amber, but this is a new low. Call me back right now or I'm never speaking to you again." Amber's text devolved into name-calling. "You're such a petty bitch. You always have to ruin everything because you're alone and miserable. Trevor and I are going to remember this forever. You're dead to me." I typed out a response and sent it to the family group chat. "You broke into my house, assaulted me, and stole my credit card. I have a police report documenting everything, including photos of my injuries and the damage to my home. I reported the charges as fraud because they were fraud. I didn't authorize them. The resort canceled the reservation because the payment was fraudulent. These are the consequences of your choices. I suggest you contact the police if you think I've done something illegal. Otherwise, figure out your own accommodation in Costa Rica and don't contact me again." I attached the photos I'd taken of the broken window, damaged door, and the bloodstain on my bookshelf. My phone immediately started ringing. My mother calling. Then my father. Then Amber. I declined each one and watched as they tried again and again. Finally, a video call came through from Amber. Against my better judgment, I answered it. The screen showed Amber's face, red and blotchy from crying. Behind her, I could see the airport terminal with palm trees visible through the windows. Chloe and Mason were sitting on suitcases in the background, and Mason was crying. "How could you do this to them?" Amber hissed, keeping her voice low but venomous. "They're children, Jessica. Innocent children who were excited about this trip." "I didn't do anything to them," I said calmly. "You did. You chose to involve them in a vacation that was paid for with a stolen credit card. It's your card. You were giving us the trip anyway. I was giving it to the people on the original reservation list. You uninvited me for my own vacation and then committed multiple felonies to steal my money. Those are very different things." Trevor's face appeared over Amber's shoulder. "Listen, we can all sit down when we get back and work this out like adults. But right now, we need you to contact the resort. Please." The audacity of this man telling me what to do after he'd assaulted me in my own home made my blood boil. "Trevor, you physically attacked me. You put your hands on me and pushed me into furniture. I lost consciousness and woke up bleeding on my floor. And now you want me to do you a favor?" He had the decency to look uncomfortable. That was an accident. I didn't mean for you to fall. You pushed me? I was just trying to calm the situation down by assaulting me. In my home. That you broke into. I shook my head. I have nothing more to say to any of you. Good luck finding accommodation in a foreign country during peak tourist season with no reservation and limited funds. Jessica, wait, Amber started, but I ended the call. Immediately, my father tried calling. I answered on the second ring. What? I said. Jessica, listen to me very carefully. His voice had that authoritative tone he used to use when I was a teenager. I understand you're upset about how things went down last night. Maybe we got a little aggressive. But canceling the entire vacation is vindictive and cruel. Your mother is having a panic attack. Amber's kids are traumatized. We need you to be the bigger person here. The bigger person, I repeated flatly. You want me to be the bigger person after you broke into my house, knocked me unconscious, and stole from me. We didn't steal from you. We took what we needed to go on a trip you were already paying for. I was paying for a trip that included me. You uninvited me and then used my money anyway. That's theft. This is semantics, Jessica. Stop being so damn literal about everything. Family is family. We stick together. Something in me snapped. Family doesn't break into each other's homes. Family doesn't tell each other they're not real family. Family doesn't give away someone's vacation spot to their sister's boyfriend of 8 months. You want to talk about family? Fine. Show me where in the definition of family it says I'm supposed to bankroll your lives while you treat me like garbage. Watch your tone with me, young lady. I'm 32 years old. I'm not a young lady, and you don't get to command my tone anymore. You made your choice when you decided Trevor was more family than I am. Now deal with it. If you don't fix this right now, there's no coming back from it. Do you understand me? This will be permanent. Good, I said, and hung up. My hands were shaking. I sat down on my couch and took several deep breaths. Part of me couldn't believe I'd just said those things to my father. I'd spent my entire life trying to please him, trying to be the daughter who had it all together, who never caused problems. But I finally understood something sitting there in my quiet house with my throbbing head. I could never please him. Nothing I did would ever be enough because I wasn't Amber. I wasn't the one who needed rescuing, so I would always be the one expected to do the rescuing. My phone buzzed with a text from my mother. Your father has a heart condition. Do you want to be responsible for killing him with stress? Please, just call the resort. I'm begging you. The guilt trip was so predictable it was almost funny. My father's heart condition was high cholesterol that he managed with medication. He'd been fine for a decade. But my mother had always wielded it like a weapon whenever she wanted me to comply with something. I didn't respond. Over the next hour, I received 17 more calls and 34 text messages. Some were angry. Some were pleading. Some tried different tactics. Amber sent me a voice memo of Mason crying and saying he wanted to see the monkeys. My mother sent me childhood photos of Amber and me with captions like "Remember when we were a family?" I turned my phone up completely and ran a bath. I soaked in the hot water until my fingers pruned, letting the Epsom salts ease the tension in my muscles. The back of my head still hurt where I'd hit the bookshelf, but the throbbing had dulled to a manageable ache. After my bath, I made myself tea and sat down with my laptop. I pulled up my bank account and looked at the disputed transaction. The resort charge had been fully reversed. My available credit was back to normal. I also noticed something else, 2 smaller charges from that night that I hadn't caught before. One was for $73 at a liquor store near my parents' house. The other was for $246 at a sporting goods store. They'd gone shopping with my card before heading to the airport. I added those to my fraud report with my bank, providing the timestamps and locations. Monica, the same representative from before, handled it quickly. I'm so sorry you're dealing with this, Miss Chen, she said. We've flagged these charges as well. Is there anything else? No, that's everything. Thank you for your help. Of course. And Ms. Chen? I hope you're somewhere safe. This sounds like a dangerous situation. I am. I'm home, and I've changed my locks. I've also filed a police report. Good. Please don't hesitate to call us if you notice any other suspicious activity. After I hung up, I turned my phone back on. 62 notifications. I scrolled through without reading most of them. One message caught my eye, though. It was from my cousin David, my mom's nephew who lived in Oregon. We'd always gotten along well, though we didn't talk often. Hey Jess, I'm hearing some wild stuff from your mom about Costa Rica. Want to tell me what actually happened? I know there are two sides to every story, and Aunt Linda tends to exaggerate. I appreciated that he was willing to hear me out. I called him. David listened without interrupting while I explained everything from the dinner planning to the break-in to the cancelled reservation. When I finished, he let out a low whistle. Jesus, Jess. That's insane. Are you okay? Did you get checked out at a hospital? Yeah, I have a mild concussion. I'm supposed to take it easy for a few days. And they just left you there unconscious? Apparently my mom suggested they should stay and help, but my dad said they'd missed their flight. So they took my cards and left. That's felony assault. You know that, right? The police officer said the same thing. Are you pressing charges? I hesitated. I don't know yet. Part of me wants to. But they're still my parents. Jess, they broke into your house and hurt you. The fact that they're your parents makes it worse, not better. They should have protected you, not attacked you. Hearing someone validate my feelings helped more than I expected. You're right. I know you're right. It's just complicated. I get it. But don't let them guilt you into thinking you did something wrong here. You didn't cancel their vacation out of spite. You reported credit card fraud, which is exactly what happened. The resort canceled the reservation because the payment was stolen. That's on them, not you. We talked for another 20 minutes. David told me about his own issues with our extended family, particularly his mother's tendency to enable bad behavior. It helped to know I wasn't alone in seeing the dysfunction. Keep me updated, he said before we hung up. And if you need anything, call me. I'm serious. Thanks, David. That means a lot. There was a long silence. Then my mother tried calling. I declined it. She texted, "Honey, let's talk about this reasonably. Yes, things got out of hand last night, but we're family. We can work through this. Please just call the resort and see if they can reinstate the reservation. We can pay you back." No, I typed back. You made it clear I'm not real family. Real family can handle their own vacation. My father, Jessica, I'm going to say this once. Either you fix this or you're no longer our daughter. Your choice. I stared at that message for a long time. My choice? They'd made the choice when they told me not to come on a vacation I'd planned. They'd made the choice when they broke into my home. They'd made the choice when Trevor pushed me into furniture hard enough to knock me unconscious. Then I guess I'm no longer your daughter, I wrote back. Don't contact me again. I left the group chat. Then I blocked all their numbers. For the next week, I focused on recovering and fixing my house. The locksmith came Monday and changed all my locks. The window repair company replaced the broken glass. I filed an insurance claim for the damages. I also scheduled an appointment with a therapist because I knew I needed to process everything that had happened. My mom tried to email me several times. I didn't respond. She sent messages through Facebook. I blocked her there too. From what I could piece together through mutual friends who reached out, word travels fast in families. My parents, Amber, Trevor, and the kids ended up staying at a budget hotel near the airport in Costa Rica for 2 nights before flying home early. They'd put it all on my father's credit card, which he complained bitterly about to anyone who would listen. Apparently, my mother tried to reach out to the resort's management to explain the situation, but they maintained that without valid payment, there was no reservation. She tried to rebook at full price, but the resort was sold out for the week. It was peak season. Amber broke up with Trevor 3 weeks after they got back. According to my cousin who still talked to her, the stress of the trip disaster had exposed some problems in their relationship. Trevor had apparently expected Amber to contribute financially to the hotel and food expenses in Costa Rica, which she couldn't do. They'd fought constantly and broken up at the airport when they landed back in the States. My parents told everyone who would listen that I was cruel and vindictive. They painted themselves as victims of my jealousy and spite. Some extended family members believed them and cut contact with me. Others, particularly my Aunt Rachel who'd never gotten along with my mom, reached out to hear my side. When I explained what actually happened and showed her the police report, she was horrified. I always knew Linda babied Amber too much, she told me over coffee about a month after everything went down. But I never thought they'd do something like this to you. Neither did I admitted. Are you doing okay? Some days are better than others. The truth was more complicated. I felt relieved not to be in constant contact with my family, not to be the one expected to solve everyone's problems and bankroll their lives. But I also felt sad. I'd lost my parents and sister in one night, even if the relationship had been dysfunctional for years. The therapist I'd been seeing helped me understand that I'd been in an unhealthy family dynamic for most of my life. She used terms like scapegoat and golden child to describe the roles Amber and I had played. She helped me see that setting boundaries wasn't cruel, it was necessary. 3 months later, I took a vacation by myself to Hawaii. I stayed at a beautiful resort, spent my days reading on the beach and snorkeling, and had the most relaxing week I'd had in years. No one demanded my attention or expected me to solve their problems. No one made me feel guilty for spending money on myself. On the last night of the trip, I sat on my balcony watching the sunset and raised a glass of wine to myself. To real family, I said quietly. Wherever I find them. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number, Jessica, this is your mother. I got a new phone. Please, we need to talk. I miss you. I looked at the message for a long moment. Then I blocked the number and went back to watching the sunset. Some bridges, once burned, should stay that way.